very solid support choice. You know, we've potentially seen her play. I believe Zekit plays a solo top Janna, so unfortunately we're not going to see that being played right now. Perhaps 4Not banning out their own players. I hope not, because we are going to be denied some very awesome plays if that happens. We're going to have to see, though, what last standard Jarvan is going to ban out. I wouldn't be surprised. Ooh, actually banning out the Lee Sin choice first. I wouldn't be surprised to predict their next bans as Lee Sin, Alistar, and potentially Twisted Fate.
I mean, they could really ban anybody from that last game. The
Mm-hmm.
Leona was aggressive and scary. The Lee Sin, we saw him roaming around like crazy. That was just insane mobility coming out from Tricks. Where not only was he, fighting mid and actually keeping up in CS, but he was also going to the jungle, going towards top, or going towards mid, fighting in top, keeping up with the CS. And Shaco being banned out too. No annoying jungler. Probably the most annoying character in the game, besides maybe Soraka and Zillion actually. So take that time.
I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, I don't know why they'd be banning at the Zillion choice. We haven't seen Zillion for a very, very long time, although he can be kind of powerful. Those bombs with the reset and the bomb again does do a lot of damage. You did mention Shaco being a very annoying jungler. And interestingly enough, all the top lane choices being banned out by last standard Jarvan. So we could potentially see Tricks in a precarious position right here, or 4Not.Fire has been known to swap positions because, of course, Zekit, formerly known as Spam Happy, does play a very powerful solo top Poppy. So I'd actually be
Puppy.
super excited if we could see this.
I would be a huge fan of the top. If they busted out the top, I'd be excited. I think they might go a bit easier. So when you're in a game like this, in a best of 2 out of 3, and you're feeling confident, this might be a time to go ahead and try and do some practice. Go for something a bit zanier, like
A
pick
Mordekaiser.
Mordekaiser, which I have not really seen come out from either. I have not seen it come out from Takashi X or Trix. It's going to be one hell of a pick if they can really make advantage of it.
This is going to be very interesting. Perhaps they're listening to the cast a little bit earlier when I said I was playing some Mordekaiser myself, and maybe this is a little shout out to me. At least I'm going to take it that way and feel very, very important because of it. But in the meantime, we do see last standard Jarvan over here picking up a Malphite and a Nautilus. So Nautilus going to be going in the jungle. Malphite, a very powerful top laner. We've seen him on the rise, especially since MLG when we had X Hazard playing a lot of Malphite for CLG when he was subbing in. So Malphite, of course, known as the very durable armor tank, can basically negate almost anybody's AD worth of damage. And very interestingly enough, that's a Darius pick that's potentially going to be coming out from 4Not. And the one thing that Darius can do that Malphite cannot deal with is a passive that has magic damage.
I would say that would be a top lane Darius, but that's a jungle
Ooh,
Darius.
Darius is going to go into the jungle. There is a smite picked on him right now. And that is one bad Brad selecting him. So we could have a jungle Darius and potentially a solo top Nidalee. So that changes everything, kind of.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Mordekaiser in the mid lane most likely. We'll see Nidalee in the top lane, Darius in the jungle. At least that's what makes the most sense, unless jungle Mordekaiser is a thing now, which would be amazing.
Oh,
Oh, come on, come on! I asked him to do it. I love Garen. I love Garen.
And we're going to have to see, is he going to be fan servicing?
Demacia.
Is he going to be fan servicing?
Demacia. I'm assuming it does. There we go.
We do. We have a solo top Garen pick, and immediately in response, we have two more Demacian characters being picked for Last Stand of Jarvan. It looks like Jarvan is actually owned by Last Stand of Jarvan after all.
So I mean, this is a good pick from Last Stand of Jarvan. They're gonna pick Jarvan for their Last Stand of Jarvan. I just want to say it's gonna be Jarvan's last stand for Team Last Stand of Jarvan.
We can say that as many times as we want. We can make all the witty, silly caster jokes we want now, studio. I'm super excited for that one. But interestingly enough, perhaps I'm going to assume it's a solo mid Lux, although we have seen Lux be played in more of a support role sometimes too. Lux actually not being seen in a lot of tournament play because she does have a lot of weaknesses to her gameplay, and basically anything she can do, a Morgana can do better. So very interestingly enough to see Lux being picked up here. Judging by the last picks of Last Standard Jarvan, we can potentially think it's going to be, I guess, maybe a solo mid-Lux, as they are going to be picking someone most likely to go with Jarvan in the bot lane, as Jarvan does have heal on him right now. But we didn't even mention the fact that 4Not has picked up Tristana as their range carry. I'm assuming a range carry.
Oh, is that support Kaiser?
It might be support to Kaiser, and Takashi X taking his Twisted Fate, not banned from him for the first time in a very long time. So we are going to see Twisted Fate from Takashi X. It could be a bottom lane of Tristana and Garen. You know how aggressive that bottom lane can get? That is devastating.
So right now, based off their picks, I have no idea what they're gonna do. They
Nope.
do have a whopping 2 promotes right now. One on second. I believe that is support Kaiser. Something I've actually done myself in the past. It's very odd to say the least, but there's a lot of cool things we can go into if that is the truth. One bad Brad maybe jungling without smite, using that early revive. what he could do is go ahead and kill himself early, revive, or actually kill himself in the jungle and revive just to go ahead and increase his jungling speed, give himself a chance to buy. Uh, Garen versus what looks like Malphite in the top lane is going to be an odd matchup. It's going to be hard to keep that shield broken. That is, okay, it is a normal jungle Darius. It is Supporter Kaiser. All right,
With
here's the
promote.
breakdown. Yeah. Mordekaiser is not the worst idea for a support in the world. He's not a good idea. It's not something that's like, yeah, I chose that and I feel confident in him. But he's got a very few selection of tricks. Mordekaiser's ultimate Ghost. If you do get a Ghost off, it does not matter if you have a billion AP. It does not matter if you have 0 AP. You still have a Ghost. I think it does affect the stats of the Ghost, but that's not what you want the Ghost for. The base stats are usually enough, and it's amazing to get a good Ghost off. So you don't need to be that strong to actually get a Ghost. If your team has enough damage, you yourself will always do okay damage because it's percentage based. So that will be effective. And the other cool thing is he has really, really good harass. Like his harass is amazing. He just has to make sure he doesn't get poked too much in response, which is always a huge danger in the bot lane. So supporter guys are, while common, it's not like there isn't some sort of way it works with a support. Supporting is going to be all about being able to survive in lane and also being effective with incredibly low amounts of farm.
And the thing is, Mordekaiser here is running pretty much a standard AP rune page. We saw lots of ability power per level, flat ability power contestances, in addition to his magic penetration. So Mordekaiser, of course, is still going to be dealing a decent amount of damage without the farm, as he does have a lot of AP that will be scaling into the late game. So even like you said, every single point you said is just enhanced by the fact now that he does have a little bit of ability power that will be scaling into the late game. And we do see teams running something along the lines of a support Galio, where he's going to be using that bulwark to really boost the defenses of his range carry while trying to poke and harass away the enemies, so his range carry has basically an open field to farm. Wouldn't be surprised to see support Dekaiser doing something similar. He does also have a shield that will be increasing magic resistance as well as armor. It does deal damage to anybody that's going to be standing near it, and with Tristana, who's going to be able to rocket jump on top of AD carries given an opportunity, that could be a very kind of deadly combination.
It's actually something really cool about it. Probably why they actually did choose Tristana. You have Tristana jump in on an enemy using her Gooba Stomp, Rocket Jump. It's going to be a really good slow, and then you can't really fight her because she's going to have her shield up. She's going to just be doing really good damage early on in the game. It's a pretty cool combination. It can snowball like crazy. They can also flounder, but the problem is they do have a Kale. They do have someone who is not going to be like your consistent range character. That I actually don't know what the lanes are going to be. I want to say it's Lux mid. Actually, we can check a rune page. If there are support runes, we will know.
I'm actually going to check Kale while we check out Lux on the other screen here. Kale running rune page 1 with armor, magic resistance, attack damage on the quintessences, in addition to armor penetration. So we could potentially have a range carry Kale.
It looks like it's what. Okay, so I can't give a good breakdown of the matchup because I have no idea what the matchup is. We'll see where they toss it. There are no GP5s on any of the characters, though, so no traditional support rune pages from anybody in this game, actually. There is no GP5s in terms of runes. There will probably be GP5s in terms of items, though. Who knows?
All right,
But,
so every single gold generator will be through kills or through items in this game. So we're going to have another exciting one on our hands, Studio.
and as for the level 1 engagements between both teams, so Lux incredibly strong at level 1. At the same time, Twisted Fate with his 6-second single target stun or good slow is going to be a great boon to the team. They want to go ahead, probably try and camp out a bush on 4Not. If Garen gets a silence off on one person, or if Takashi X sets that up with a stun, you cannot flash while silenced. So it's almost a guaranteed kill to be caught by that. The level 1 really is in favor of Jarvan's Last Stand. They do have Nautilus, who has some of the best CC in the game, even just with his passive. They do have Kale with her incredibly high auto attack damage, and then if you get caught by a Lux Binding, or even half a Lux Binding, you are in grave danger. So the level 1 is in favor of Jarvan's Last Stand, but it's all going to be about who gets the better positioning, who gets that better stun off, that better burst.
Yeah, indeed. So we're going to have to see how this works out. 4Not did play super aggressive right now. So even if Jarvan's Last Stand just decided to defend on this one, like you said, they do have a little bit of a superior level 1 fight. It is all just going to come down to how they can manage themselves in these level 1 team fights and who is going to come out on top for this one. We did see 4Not coming out ahead last game, but they did have basically every single stun in the world, as they had a Leona, they had an Alistar, and they had pretty much everybody else that they could ever hope for. So we're going to have to see, come into this game, how the two teams are going to adjust for this one. Is 4Not going to be as aggressive as they were last game, and is Last Stand of Jarvan going to be able to deal with it? I don't know, but we are loaded into the game right now, Studio, and I am super excited to find out.
And something much different from last game is we do see, oh, are they going to leave the base yet? Like, just look at how quickly 4Not left their base. They're almost towards their inhibitor right now, as the rest of Jarvan's left stand, they're getting there. They're just passing that top inhibitor right now. They're kind of split up. It looks like they are going to go ahead and group in. 4Not rushing, my guess is for another invasion because they do love playing aggressively. But the other team was a bit slower on this. They do want to try and catch someone out, though. I think he bought Jarvan in between games. Because Back in Vale is just saying it's his first time playing Jarvan.
Oh boy, so Last Stand of Jarvan picking up Jarvan just for their potential last stand. This is going to be game number 2 right now. 4Not currently up 1 game in favor of 0 right now against Last Stand of Jarvan. So this could potentially be Jarvan's last stand, or it could be game number 3. Regardless, Trix is going to be running in on the Mike for Real's Nautilus right here. Does get caught by that Lux slow. Does not have the binding at level 1. Nautilus does get the staggering blow down, and of course, that Malphite is going to go down there. But ooh, Parole jumping in very aggressively. There's the Mordecai shield we were talking about. Gold card goes down right there onto Malphite, and Malphite will not be able to live through that one. Tristana being super aggressive wants to pick up the kill on Nautilus right there, will not be able to. Takashi X in the meantime is going to flash, and Twisted Fate's card will pick up the kill there. So it's currently a 2-1 advantage for 4Not, being super aggressive just like last time. But you know, Last Stand of Jarvan reacted a little bit better for that one. Perhaps did not have the optimal level 1 skills for this team fight. We are going to see though that Kale is going to get caught by a gold card. There goes the silence, like you said, being unable to flash in that one. She will naturally fall. One bad Brad picking up a kill in that one there. So 2 kills currently for Darius, 1 kill for Twisted Fate, and a kill for Lux, and assist across the board for almost every character except for Nautilus right now, basically. And it looks like, and Jarvan, he unfortunately was not able to land a hit in those engagements either. So it is currently a 3-1 lead for 4Not. They are going to be aggressive on this counter jungling once again. Darius is going to steal away this red buff right here, which Nautilus being a very slow jungler and a little more blue buff reliant right now, not really going to matter about that red buff. He's not exactly going to be able to go in and steal the enemy's one right now. He is going to be feeling the hurt because they are taking away his experience and, of course, his buff, so his ganks will be a little bit worse off. But still, able to start safely at his blue buff for now, Studio.
It's a very beefy, like, 3 men just walking around.
And it looks like they're going to go down on the poor little girl in the mid lane, but she is going to be able to get behind her tower, and unfortunately, no matter how beefy those 3 characters are right there, they are still afraid of a tower.
And Mike for Real still having internet issues. So the bot lane's kind of interesting right now. Jarvan is dependent on level 2 before he can start going in for aggression, so Parole on his own is actually going to be safe for a short while. There's going to be enough time for Zeke to show up, and now Parole can be aggressive with his rocket jump and that Mordekaiser shield.
He does have a level advantage right here. He's going to go in with the rocket jump, actually gets the explosive shot as well as the ignite. Jarvan is going to flash to safety through the tower right there, getting extremely, extremely low, but he will be able to live right now. And the one thing is, you know, Kale is going to have a little bit of sustain once he hits level 2, most likely going to be leveling up that heal. Darius actually getting very, very low in his own jungle. Will be able to take his blue buff, though, so he's going to be okay. Might have to go back after that, and after the roaming around in early engagements. We're going to have to see. He actually is not going to go back, just going to use those health potions to heal himself back up, so he'll be wandering around aimlessly. Nautilus actually, I guess because he's disconnecting so much, is going to try to give this blue buff to Lux, but Nautilus getting extremely low will actually die to his own blue buff here. It resets a little bit. Lux is going to have to be super careful taking this one, as now the enemy team knows exactly what is up. She will be able to kill it and will be able to finish it off, though. So now Nautilus still level 1, still suffering from internet connection issues. Meanwhile, enemy jungler is going to be going in through the top lane. We do miss the fact that Parole is jumping around like, I don't even know. He's kind of like a slinky, just slinking from one side to another. Maybe like a Pogs thing or something, just jumping all over the place.
It's almost like a handball where it's like he goes in, then hits someone, then bounces back after he gets the kill. Just the cooldown reset on rocket jump playing a huge part in that bot lane, as even underneath the tower they're still going for kills, and that mitigation from Mordekaiser shield being a huge deal. Top lane they're actually going on to high fade. The spin is out so much damage from these pair actually. Garen does an amazing amount of damage. People forget about that, but his E is just really high damage. It's hard to get off though. So with that combined slow from Darius with that red buff, it was actually an amazing combo right there.
Yeah, it was. And actually not even giving heed of the tower right there. They closed in from either side. Garen was actually able to tank some damage. Of course, Garen on the W will be able to play that as the active ability in order to reduce oncoming damage by a certain percentage. I believe it is actually 35% or something along those lines. I don't exactly know the exact numbers right now. I'm actually going to click on them and say
it's 20% at level 1.
20% at level 1. I will be going up to a maximum of 35%. So he is actually not going to be very afraid of towers. Speaking of not very afraid of towers, Takashi X will be taking his down at about the 4-minute and 50-second mark, so he's actually doing a really great job over there with that. Darius, meanwhile, is going to be staying in the top lane, farming up for Garen to get back, taking a lot of damage, but Malphite was nowhere to be found as he did die in that tower engagement, so he was going to be A-okay to just sit there and farm up at low HP. Now Garen back in the lane, has a Doran's Blade in addition to his Boots and Pots health potion start. We do see Malphite trying to go for a Philosopher's Stone in addition to his Boots and 3 health potions. We do see Takashi getting a little bit of damage, gets the Dredge line there from Nautilus. Lux is not going to actually get a binding off, but Kale coming in from the bottom lane. Takashi X dodges a binding, which is not dodge death, as Kratos will pick up a kill on Twisted Fate right there. So Lux currently getting a kill in the mid lane over Twisted Fate. Lux is actually 2-0 at this point, even though she's being denied a lot of farm, down CS 30-9 right there. She'll have 2 kills over Twisted Fate, so she's not in the worst of positions, but in the worst positions is Jarvan right now. He has a Mordekaiser and an angry jump happy Tristana that he's going to be actually engaging on right now as Kale comes back from her mid lane gank, forcing him off the tower. So actually going in very aggressively, wants to pick up the kill. The Ignite goes down. Mordekaiser's shield will be helping her live just a little bit longer. Kale actually going to trade out for Jarvan. We'll get the rocket jump from Tristana over the wall into enemy territory. She is going to be safe for now. Is that flash up on her? Her flash is actually no flash right now. There's an Ignite and a heal, so she's in a very, very sticky situation right here. She's going to have to wait for that rocket jump cooler to come up. Has to dodge for 6 more seconds. Will not dodge. Actually just decided to get executed as she was not tagged with damage right there. Garen, though, in the meantime, is in a little bit of trouble, too. Looks like Malphite is actually going to be coming up here. We did miss the kill from Mordekaiser on Kale in the bottom lane. Garen is going to be able to flash away right there, despite 3 members of the enemy team chasing him down. I guess we missed the fact that Zekent, in the meanwhile, with his double Doran shield of justice, will be picking up a kill on the tower in addition to a kill on Kale. We do see Chicks actually coming around with one bad Brad's Darius. Will be able to finish off Lux, so a little bit of a chase gone awry. Dredgeline into tower range will not be enough. One bad Brad will not take any tower shots right there as the tower is currently hitting a minion. Garen and Darius, though, pretending they are singed, farming up all the minions behind the tower right there. And I don't even know, Studio. I need to take a breath.
Yeah, go ahead, take a breath. I'll do this for a while. I gotta say, I'm loving the combination of Darius and Garen. It actually works really well together. Darius, with his slow, lets Garen get as much damage as he needs to off. They go on to Mike for real underneath his turret. Even underneath the turret with no HP, the ultimate comes out. Trix barely gets away with any HP. An amazing use, getting right to the very edge of Mike for real's kill zone with that ultimate. And this is just looking amazing for 4Not right now. They're a little bit behind compared to what they were last game, but just all the lanes are winning. Brackenville survives with 2 HP.
Yes, unfortunately,
2 HP at the end of that explosive shot.
Unfortunately, Kale does not look like she's going to survive. Hemorrhage passive is too strong right there. Malphite may be able to pick up a kill on Trix right here, but his skills are down. Tower diving, a flash goes off, and Garen with the silence. No spells for you, Malphite, and we'll be picking up a kill right there. Unfortunately, this game not going the way that Jarvan's last stand wanted to. Like you said, the advantage for 4Not is not nearly as much as it was in game number 1, but they are still continuing to snowball onward with their very, very aggressive compositions. No snowball items coming out from them this game, actually. Garen has picked up a very early Last Whisper, though, so if the enemy team had any armor on them right now, it's basically, well, not there at this point in time. That Last Whisper is going to be doing a lot of armor penetration on them. Mordekaiser actually picking up a Sheen in addition to his double Doran shield start. Darius out of the jungle has a Brutalizer and could potentially be going for a Tear of the Goddess in a Mana Mune.
With Pearl going against 3 people, caught into the Jarvan ult. He actually went back in there with his rocket jump. He does not survive, though.
No, that is actually another kill for Lux. So Lux, 3-1 right now, is kind of the most fed character on her team. She does have 2.3k gold. That is a solid 9 to 1,000 more gold than anyone else on the team. Mid lane, though, the aggression is non-stop. Looks like the beefy characters of Darius and Mordekaiser, in addition to Takashi X's Twisted Fate there, almost picking up a kill on Nautilus. From behind, Kale and Jarvan coming in, though. Jarvan does get the knockout combo, not on Twisted Fate, though. He flashed over the walls, able to just throw some wild cards. Dunk coming out from Darius. We'll pick up a kill on Kale right there. So a little aggression from last stand of Jarvan. Unfortunately, 4Not knows exactly how to turn that one around, and they will pick themselves up another kill. Now jumping ahead 11-3 in this favor. Nautilus actually grabbing some terrain instead of an enemy. Might want to be a little bit careful about that because he will actually go towards his dread line even if he hits terrain instead of an enemy.
So something we actually didn't catch on was that Kale's actually taking more of a support role this game rather than the aggressive AD carry role. Just looking at the CS difference, she's only at 3 CS versus Jarvan's 21, which would actually explain why Kale is still not level 6 and unfortunately did not have the ultimate when they engaged in that fight.
We have a Darius and Garen running out of the bush here, pulling Nautilus back in there with the Apprehend, and another dunk coming out from Darius. That ultimate is being super, super effective at these early level engagements right now. Lux Laser actually getting him and Garen down extremely low, but they do have minions to tank the tower right here. here. Takashi X coming in and saying, hey, that's a very low tower. Let me just take that last hit for you guys. Malphite in the meantime, level 6, misses the ultimate on the Darius. We'll try to slow him down. Actually does pick up a kill. Ends a killing spree for Darius. Darius at that point in time was 7-1. So pretty big kill there for Nautilus. Kratos going into the middle of the fight, wants to take down Takashi. Looks like Jarvan's going to pop down the Demacian standard, but not able to pick up a kill. Now getting stunned from that gold card. Flashing forward, Ignite is down, and Zekit will be picking up the kill there. Kale, meanwhile, trying to do her best to keep Lux alive, but Garen's ultimate, just like Darius, dealing way too much damage at this point. And there's the damage from the spin, picking up the double kill as it finishes off Kale in that engagement.
I mean, right now, 4Not.Truck's going crazy with the Garen. Garen is such an odd character because you don't see him in competitive play. He has a lot of bad matchups, and things go terribly wrong, especially with a good team composition. But when he's this far ahead, he just needs to get not even a full spin on somebody, just 1 to 2 seconds tops, and just so much damage comes out of him, and he's looking so strong. I cannot get over this Darius-Garen combination. It just synergizes so well. We see Darius pulling a dude, Garen silences them, they get slowed by Darius, and then there's just like this 2-second chase. And that's all they need before Darius can actually execute someone, or even Garen can. They both have executes.
Yeah, the thing is, they need to see who wants to kill more. I guess in this case, Garen, might not going to be giving the kills away to Darius right now. Darius, of course, the Noxian champion. Garen is the Demacian champion. And this is last stand of Jarvan, so it's natural that Darius has more kills than Garen. Garen not wanting to get some friendly fire. Look at the jump in from Tristana. Buster shot backward. There's actually an ultimate coming up from Darius, but Garen will be taking that kill this time around. So the aggression from 4Not non-stop. They went back, bought up some items right now. Look at the builds. They just have so many items compared to the other team of last stand of Jarvan. Jarvan's meanwhile going in with a Cataclysm. Will actually trap everybody in there. Lux ultimate goes off. Lux will unfortunately die. Lux will pick up the kill on Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser did pick up the kill on Jarvan there. Read that kill backwards for a second. Kale in the meantime able to get a nice kill there on Tristana. So 4Not losing 2 members of this one. Last stand of Jarvan only losing 1, but look at the Darius and Garen damage. Just melting Lux almost instantaneously as she got pulled in there by the Apprehend. So there will be a dead inhibitor in favor of 4Not now. They have 5 towers down, 24.2k gold to 12.2k gold, 18 kills to 6, and Takashi actually just content in farming this top lane up here.
So to put things in perspective, right now Garen's spin will do about 900 damage on a full spin. Kale has about 1200 HP.
That is almost 1 spin to kill Kale. Meanwhile, Depth Charge goes off onto Twisted Fate here. Exhaust as well. Gold card does go off to slow down Jarvan. There's a Darius waiting to pull people over the wall, but actually pulls them into Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate dying, and then Kale picking up a kill onto that Darius. So that engagement did not go how they wanted to. Both characters are at extremely low HP. Malphite, in the meantime, has to use the Q to run away from Garen. There's the Garen spin damage. Look at all the damage going through Lux's shield and everything, setting up the ultimate. Meanwhile, Kale's going to come here, try to do something. Malphite ultimate does go off on both Mordekaiser and Garen. Garen has to pop the shield. Tristana jumps in here, getting all the damage possible down on Jarvan to finish him off. Second jump goes down onto Kale. Is it going to be enough? Kale's actually going to finish off Mordekaiser, but not before Tristana can finish him off. Nautilus trying to take down Garen, but Garen too naturally tanky. He will be legendary picking up a kill on Nautilus there. Tristana now going in onto Malphite. Malphite decides that he wants to try his thing at Garen, but Garen too strong and too tanky, living with 49 HP, and Parole dealing all the damage possible right there. Ooh, Lux Laser will not find a target there. It was so dangerously close to landing. Could have gotten a double kill with both champions at extremely low HP, but still. Looking at Tristana's build, she's putting out a lot of damage, but she's built 2 Doran's Blades. She has an Avarice Blade in addition to the potential Brutalizer she's building, going for a Ghost Blade early on. They're just penetrating every single ounce of armor that last standard Jarvan would potentially build at this point in time.
There is no amount of armor they could really buy right now to not be scared of Garen and Tristana without having their own Warmogs to supplement her. So I do love this early armor penetration. It's being effective just because they haven't had a chance to buy armor items. I mean, looking even at Malphite, he only has a cloth armor for defense. So it's an effective build, and Takashi X is now where he wants to be on Twisted Fate. He can kite like crazy with those boots of swiftness. Oh,
here comes a ghost from Darius. Pulls 3 members of last stand of Jarvan in. Looks like Jarvan is getting the ticks down from the hemorrhage there, and the ultimate will finish him off. Double kill actually picked up by Darius as he's able just to spin around in circles pretending he's Garen. Kale ultimate goes off on herself to try to save her from the Nautilus ghost from Mordekaiser there. Lux in the meantime will get silenced and taken down by the Garen and Darius double bad duo right there. dealing so much damage as 4Not will continue to push their advantage into the enemy base. They're taking a top tower. They're going to probably take this top inhibitor. Malphite is going to try to slow them down, but to no avail. Twisted Fate, in the meantime, like you said, being at the point in game where he wants to, has a Sheen, being able to kite for forever. It doesn't matter, though he could just take down towers pretty quickly, even though he doesn't have a Lich Bane and is only a Sheen at this point in time. Taking down an inhibitor, taking down potentially a Nexus tower right now. It's extremely low. Wildcard's dealing almost half of health damage to Kale at this point in time. So that's just how much damage the entire team of 4Not is doing at this point in time to last stand of Jarvan.
The knockback from Tristana actually put Zeke in a bad spot as Lux realized he could actually ult and kill him at that point. Right now it's a 17,000 gold lead. They have to fight here. The Jarvan ult does come out. The Malphite ult comes out. A lot of damage onto Pearl. Can the tanky DPS though finish off the rest of Jarvan's last stand? It looks like they can.
Oh, yes, indeed. Jarvan's last stand will be met by his own country's champion in addition to his enemy Noxian champion, as Garen and Darius, currently looking at their score, they have 23 of the 30 kills that 4Not has acquired this game. So the two tanky DPS, the two melee bruisers, doing as much damage as they want to last stand to Jarvan, even though their prince, their future king, is trying to win this game. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. 30 kills to 11, 37k to 16.8k, 10 towers down to none. And their Nexus is breathing its last breaths, if a building could breathe indeed. It currently has less than a quarter health, and they're trying to fight these super minions off this, let alone the fact that any enemy champions can come in. Look at Takashi X. He's just standing over here. He knows that the end is near. He has his ultimate up just in case he needs to go in there and do it. There are people trying to chase down Kale right here. She was trying to pick up a kill on Darius. Kale getting a little bit too cocky. Twisted Fate, meanwhile, is just going to dance in the moonlight right there. Kale ultimate does go off to save herself. The one thing they have to remember is this Nexus will regenerate about 10 or 20 health per second right there. They do actually see that Twisted Fate was there a second ago, but is not currently. So Twisted Fate moving away towards this bottom tower. Mordekaiser was pushing the lane in the meantime. So now, last stand of Jarvan, this is going to be really their last stand. They are back up to their Nexus. It is exposed. It is going to die. Lux actually dying already to that Tristana. Jumping in will actually finish her off with the ultimate right there. Jumping out. A lot of damage has gone down on her. Is there going to be to pick up the kill? Nautilus with the Dreadnought pick up the kill, but Garen doing as much work as he has been all game. Spins to win on Kale there. Mordekaiser will finish off Jarvan. There's a silence down on Nautilus. Nautilus cannot use any more of his skills. Double kill picked up there for Zekent. Now Haphe is trying to do as much as he can, using the summoner platform to his advantage. Takes down that Mordekaiser. Will not let Garen recall right now, dealing as much damage as he can, but unfortunately the minions are dealing as much damage as they can to his Nexus, and that is going to be good game. 4Not will take the series over last stand of Jarvan 2-0 in two very aggressive and very impressive games.
So there were a few issues. I don't know if you saw. Oh wait, you have chat disabled, but yeah, there were a couple issues with the internet from Jarvan's last stand. But 4Not with their aggression, they just went crazy. They didn't let any room to breathe occur for the enemy team. I mean, starting with that first game, they went with an aggressive level 1 invade, and second game, what did they do? They started with an aggressive level 1 invade. So they went crazy both games, just going for kills, going for objectives when they picked up like 7 or 8 kills. And this game actually ended the game, I believe, a little sooner than last game.